That is why I'm awake. Oh, oy vey. Okay. Coffee's ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday. It's February 8th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. So right off the bat, even though not everyone's going to see this, I'm going through some stuff personally, and I don't want to talk about it, but it is going to impact me. So, see, fighting off the tears. So the Super Bowl, watched some of it, and if there's any doubts that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback, at least alive, or I should say playing, if not ever. It's hard to compare eras. But in the modern era, current era, he is undoubtedly the best. And what I found interesting was, I've read a lot of stuff over the years that Gronkowski is, people saying he's overrated. Didn't seem overrated last night. Man, talk about a duo. Those guys connect. Now they've got another ring. I'm sure there was a moment there in the first where, I'm assuming you watched it. There must have been a moment there in the first where, when the Chiefs were the first to go up on the board with that field goal, 3-0. They're like, we got it. Oh, wait. They never led again. They never led again. It was Bucks all the way. The Tom Brady show. It's interesting when you look at people who are that dominant in what they do, their profession, whether it's athletics or not. There are people who are just that good that they play or work long term. They defy odds, and everyone starts to look to them to say, what are they doing? I'm thinking of someone like Warren Buffett as an investor, or I don't know, Stephen King as an author. People who just have been on the top of their game for so long that it's not even news anymore. If Stephen King releases a book and it becomes a bestseller, is that even going to get coverage? If Warren Buffett makes another $1 billion, does anybody know? Who else falls in that category? I don't know that we have anybody like that in the world of martial arts, which is a shame. Cut my hair, trim my beard. I think I've got my first draft of the garden plan done. It is complex. There's way more that needs to be done. Way more that needs to be done to solidify it. And that was just the annuals. Now I have to move on to the perennials because I'm probably going to be here all summer again. So I might as well have something to do, and it might as well feed me. What's wrong, What's bad about that? It's Monday. Let's see if the show's up. It's a Monday episode up yet. Hi, Jerry. Where is it? Here it is. Press that button. No, that. That button. That button. Not yet. Episode 578 is not up yet. I think Julius has been uploading these at like 6:45 or something, because they seem to happen before the end of the show. So what's going on today? Some client stuff. You know what I made some really good progress on Friday. The hybrid program, the strength speed program. It's really coming along. Honestly, it might be the best program I've done yet, conceptually. I still have to plug in the specific elements, but if you've worked with the speed program that I did, you know that it's based off a calendar. You know, it's 3 months. It's 3 months of progress, and this is also based on that. And it's not as simple as just taking the strength program and wedging it in there, because that would be way too much volume, and you would dramatically compromise the effectiveness of either. So looking for that sweet spot of where's the right amount of work so that you get stronger and faster, but in such a way that if you go to regular classes and train, that you don't derail your progress or, even worse, risk injury. That's a lot to consider. Good morning, Stacy. Yeah, but I think I've got something. I think I've got something that's going to work. So, yeah, I'll work on that more this morning. Because I spent the last 3 mornings, part of them anyway, looking for how to get out of here for a few days. I won't even call it a vacation, but just like go somewhere. With quarantine rules and everything, there's no point in leaving the state. And there's nowhere I want to go in state. I mean, if I go to a hotel and spend the night, what am I going to do? I can do the same thing I do here, except less of it. I'd rather take that money and buy plants. I was sitting here with the perennials last night. I tear out the pages of stuff I'm not going to buy, just so I can focus my time. You go. Stacy says, do a day of massage and spa. Take a look at the price and what they're doing in spas right now. It's not even close to worth it. I looked, because that's been the best recommendations anyone's giving me. I do have a massage scheduled. Oh, and if you're hearing the hydroponics, you know why? Because I pulled out some of the big plants, the ones that had been in there for a couple months. They had tons of roots, and now the water flows much faster. So it's noisy again. And I remembered why I bought 100 feet of hydroponic tubing. So I'll fix that. That'll go on the list at some point. But this summer, I'll show you all at some point this summer. But this summer, this place is going to look like one of those crazy people's houses on YouTube with, all the food they need to eat for the year, growing in 12 square feet kind of thing. I mean, I've got an acre, so it's not going to be quite that dense, but lots of food. Lots of food. Yep. And looking at when to start plants inside, it's going to be tough. It's like 200 plants I need to start. I might need to buy another table. And I gotta buy lights. Just so much. Stacy says, soon coming up, Jeremy CSA. Yeah. It's at the point, I'm growing stuff I don't even really like. Like turnips. You know how many turnips I'm gonna grow? I don't even like turnips. I'll have to find a way to like turnips. Because they go in between things. I don't know. What else is going on this week? Got a little bit of indoor renovation happening. Stacy says, lemon verbena, grow it. I will look it up. A little bit of home renovation stuff going on this week. There have been some small things pending on the plumbing side. My friend down the road apparently is now on his own as a plumber. So he's like, hey, how about I come by and do that work? Sure. And then another friend of mine who's a carpenter is supposed to be coming by today so we can figure out what we're doing later this week. And Jeremy's constantly changing house. Coffee is good. Anything else to report today? I don't think so. It's cold. It's like 7 degrees. It snowed last night a little bit. I want to go back to bed. Yeah. All right, let's see what you all wrote in. Stacy, you're joining us. You joined us a little bit late. I looked. The episode is not up yet. Oh, I think I played with this. I think I did this on Friday, so I'll tell you about this too. So I've mentioned, how are you still draining? Silly hydroponics. It's so loud. I've mentioned that there's a new YouTube channel coming, and it's under my name, not Whistlekick, because it is going to be content on things that I do. And I have some fairly strong opinions on certain techniques and their usefulness and their synergy with the body. There are some things that we do in martial arts that just don't make sense. And I don't even necessarily mean that they don't make sense on the street. I just mean silly things. What's a great example that everyone would understand? I don't know. I don't have one. But filmed some of that and did some filming last week and edited one of them together as a test on Friday. Uploaded it to the channel, passed it off to a friend to say, hey, what do you think? You'll be able to find the channel. It's Jeremy Lesniak Martial Arts, but that video is hidden right now because I'm not ready to release it. I'm going to release all of them at once, try to make a splash. And the feedback I got was really positive. So we will see. We will see what happens. My goal, once I finish up this training program, the hybrid, those will become a higher priority. So we'll get those knocked out. But it was fun. It was fun working on some video. Oh, and why? I don't know that I answered the question. The inevitable question. Why can't that content go up as Whistlekick? Because Whistlekick is style agnostic. Whistlekick is never going to say, this technique is right, this technique is wrong, this style is right, this style... I would never say this style is right or wrong. I would say that knowing what we know about the body, doing this technique in this way is silly. If we make an adjustment here, it becomes much faster, more stronger, more powerful, whatever. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing. But it's still critical. And I'm not going to be critical while wearing my Whistlekick hat. So the hope is people will find me and then maybe follow along to Whistlekick. And the last thing I want to say, if you are on TikTok, you should find Stacy, because Stacy and Laura, who are Team Smashy Smash, the remaining faction of Team Whistlekick in terms of competition. Actually, that's not true. We still have Michael. I don't know that Michael's doing any virtual competitions, but I think with all the videos that they've posted on TikTok, they're up to what, like 10 plus million views. I mean, they're absolutely killing it over there, which is not surprised because they literally kill words. It's incredibly destructive. The lumber industry is thankful for them. Okay. So Frank is giving us some stuff to talk about. Thank you, Frank. Shout out to Frank. And Frank, we're probably due for a phone call. Let's have a chat, my friend. Hope you are well. We start the week with a look at R&B singer Jazmine Sullivan, who sang the national anthem at last night's Super Bowl. I'm not the type of woman who shows off my body. I'm a vocalist, and I'm a writer, and I think people see that more so that they see anything else. I read that weird. I'm a vocalist and I'm a writer, and I think people see that more so, and they see... Words are a struggle. I'm a vocalist and I'm a writer, and I think people see that more so than they see anything else. That's just who I am. There we go. I find... Stacy says Lamel, which is a local lumberyard, knows me by voice when I call to do an order. That's awesome. That's super fun. All right. So we're at an interesting time in terms of female sexuality publicly, that like combination, because I don't know that we're going to say, I'm not going to say that we have equal acceptance for, but it feels like it's headed in that direction quickly for women who want to show off their bodies publicly and women who don't, and to choose, to have that ability to choose, because men have the right to choose that. There are guys making careers off of not wearing a shirt. There are guys that have careers and you would never see them without a shirt. I feel like we're getting there for women, and I think that's awesome. That's my reaction to this one, this quote. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I care that you do it well. If your career is to sing, I care that you're a great singer. If your career is to show off your body and somehow make money from that, well, you should be attractive. If you're a singer, you don't have to be attractive. If you're attractive, you don't have to be a singer. I don't know why it's complicated, but it's complicated for some people. But I think more and more people are waking up to say, it's really not. Ooh, Stacy, you and Laura should do some kind of like Gallagher parody. That would do well on TikTok. Like just smashing fruit. That would be great. Like watermelons and apples. Just... You could get the mustache. Because didn't he have a mustache? You could get like a stick-on mustache and do it. I think the way I write is kind of naturally rhythmic. If there's anything of my own in my writing, I think that's my own thing. Like when I start a song, I almost hear the rhythm more than the melody. I think I understand what she's saying. I am not a singer. You probably don't want to hear me sing. Ironically, I enjoy singing, but only do it by myself. But in writing, there's a cadence to the words. And it's similar, as I experience it, to the cadence in a form. You can watch two people do roughly the same form, let's say in competition, who've different styles, never met, maybe different parts of the world. And there are going to be at least portions of that form that have a similar cadence. The timing is the same. Because when you do certain movements, just like certain words, you know, if martial arts, if a technique is a word, and a combination is a phrase, and a form is a poem or a story, there are only so many ways you can emphasize those words that they make sense. Sensei Emmett says, I once sung karaoke and the MC asked what I did with the money. On asking what money, he said, the money your mother gave you for singing lessons. I like that. That's a good one. It's a really good one. There are actually apps you can download on your phone that will in some way teach you how to sing. I downloaded one a couple weeks ago. That's as far as I've gotten. I've been threatening myself to do this for a year. I don't want to go like be a singer. I don't even want to go to karaoke. It's a skill. I like acquiring skills. It's something that I see in myself and I want to get better at. I want to get better at everything. If one of the worst skills I have is singing, I want to get better as a singer. If it's, I don't know, what else am I not good at? There are lots of things I'm not good at. Working on cars. I've been looking at buying an old car, and a friend of mine, I've already asked him, and I asked him in this way, will you be my auto mechanic mentor? He said yes. So I think there's time. There's time to learn things. That's what cars are for. Sing it loud and proud. Yeah. I'm usually listening to podcasts or audiobooks in the car. The singing's at home at night after work, usually after a glass of wine or a whiskey. But one of the hard parts is the songs that I like to sing are female singers. My voice doesn't go that high. It's kind of deep, if you couldn't tell. You know what else I figured out on Friday? I think in retrospect, some of you are going to be really annoyed when you hear this, when you hear the difference. I've been using the microphone wrong. I've been talking into the wrong spot, and it's muffled my voice a little bit. And so I spent about 30 minutes, if that long, on Friday playing around with where my voice needed to be, like physically, like on the mic. And I found the spot. It sounds so much better. Like, so much better. It's crazy how much better it sounds. Sorry. Next. If you hear a good song, it makes you hopeful, like that is out there. Yeah. Music has such power. There's something incredibly visceral, primal about music that resonates for you. And it's the reason that music can go back so far. Percussion and singing and telling stories as song, great ballads. There's a reason that we've retained those far more than so many other things. Music matters. And it says, I'd love to learn to sing, but I think singing is just not for me. No amount of learning or practice is going to make me a tolerable singer. My previous attempts have proven my lack of talent. My friend, I would challenge you, what if somebody said that to you about martial arts after 0 days of instruction? I have heard people use almost those exact words to say, I should never do karate, I should never join a kung fu class. My body just doesn't work that way, etc., etc. Now, if you don't want to put in the time to learn to sing, that's a whole different story. But if you genuinely think that you will never learn how to sing because you've never been taught to sing, how good is someone going to be at martial arts just by following along? Not even instruction, but just by following along what they see. Most people are going to be terrible at it. And that's how most of us have, quote unquote, learned to sing. We didn't actually learn. We just hear songs and we try to replicate them. There are certain things that we do really well with imitation, but not everything is best learned through imitation. Little kids learn how to speak, whatever the parent's language is by listening to them, but we still educate them on proper language, grammar, sentence, all that stuff, right? And Emmett says, you have got me there. Maybe it might be worth an attempt. If you want to learn, put in the time. If you don't, that's okay. I'm just calling you out a little bit because that's an excuse. And if you hadn't written it in such a way that it sounded exactly like the excuses people use for not training martial arts, I might not have said it that way. It's an opportunity to learn everything. I feel that the music that I do is somewhat of a lost art, and it's not as popular as dance or pop music, and people are not as interested in it. But it's something that I believe in, and I feel that it's needed. So that's why I do it, and I will keep doing it until everybody hears it and gets it. What's the subgenre of music that's most often described as either a subset or a synonym for R&B? Soul. That's why R&B music is important. It's soul music. Some of it. It comes from your soul. It is an incredibly deep expression of what you're feeling. It's, to me, R&B, soul, jazz, blues. They come from a similar place. Pop music can come from that place. Rock music can come from that place. But it doesn't usually. Remember my definition of art, that in which the artist leaves a piece of their, what? Their soul. You can be a great singer and not put your soul into it. You can do a great form and not put your soul into it. But a mediocre form with soul, I would watch that. I would much rather watch that than a great form with no soul. Emmett says, my martial arts were worse than my singing a long time ago. Who would have known when I was 7 that in 30 years' time, martial arts would be my calling in life? I think you're just further proving my point, my friend. We're gonna see Emmett on the Billboard charts. So if you're 37 now, yeah, give it 20 years. Stacy says, I believe I am in my best photos. They are a reflection. Yeah. Stacy takes some wonderful photos. I have seen them. All right. And one more. I think a lot of the way that I try to write my stories come from watching my mom write plays and trying to do that. Great music often tells a story, doesn't it? It doesn't have to be a full story. I wonder, does Rihanna want to do a duet? It might take some time. You might have to, get a little better, but sure, why not? If it's going to sell records, she'll do it. I've never written a play. I've written a lot of poetry. I've written a bunch of fiction, or nonfiction. Now I've written a little bit of fiction. I've written songs. I've never written a play. Never written a screenplay. I don't know that I want to write a play. I could see if the novel goes somewhere, I could see adapting that as a movie script. I think there's enough there. And honestly, as I was writing it, that was part of it. In fact, as I was writing it, it is so vivid to me. I probably could easily write a screenplay for that. And it wouldn't be expensive. It would not be an expensive movie at all. Crap, am I gonna make a movie now? I don't have time. I don't have the time to make a movie. Maybe I should. Could do it. Oh well. Stacy says, Jeremy's wheels are spinning. They are spinning. There's so many projects. I've said for a long time, Whistlekick is a content company that monetizes through selling product. We're a content company. I'm going to keep feeding you content. That's what we do. All right. Let's see if that episode is up now that it is 7 o'clock. If it is not, we will have to let it go. Here it is. Kyoshi John Payton. It was a fun one. I thought there was somebody else. Maybe I went out of order. I don't know. I think I went out of order. Oh well. All right. I'm going to go, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Peace.